Welcome to Live Interactive English. Hi everyone, I'm Mike.
And I'm Sam.
And today we are going to begin a very interesting and maybe a little bit scary 2-day article about deep sea exploration into the freezing depths. That's my movie voice. So this is about a part of the world that most of us know about, but I would bet very few of us will ever go to.
Oh yeah, I would say very, very few of us, because this is all about the deep sea.
Super
and
deep.
Trying to see what is down there, what lives down there, what does it look like?
Yes.
Is there any hidden Atlantis down there? Who knows?
No, there is not. I will probably be able very confidently to say that. No.
Okay.
But have you ever been to the ocean depths or to the deepest parts of the ocean? Again, I'm gonna bet no.
No.
Okay.
No, but I have done scuba diving.
Oh,
so,
okay.
you know, it's similar on a very, very small scale.
Yeah.
But I have to say it was terrifying.
Oh, really?
So I don't think I will do that again.
And was there light around you?
Well, here's the thing.
Could you see things?
I could see things.
All right, so you weren't that deep.
Well, yeah, no, we weren't that deep because I was only 10. But
What?
you were supposed to be 12, so we lied about how old I was.
Oh, no.
And then
What are
my
you doing?
parents, yeah, I know. And then my parents did it, by the way. It wasn't me.
Oh,
And
okay.
then my parents decided to show us a very scary shark movie right before we did that.
What?
We watched it the night before we left for this vacation.
Are you kidding?
Oh, it was a domino of terrible events. And then when I first went down under the water,
Yeah.
I was facing the drop off, so there was nothing and I didn't see my family, I didn't see anybody. So yeah, that was terrifying.
That probably would make you very scared of the ocean for a long time after. Can you go back in the ocean now? Is that something you enjoy doing?
I like snorkeling. I'm
Okay.
super okay with snorkeling.
Okay.
I'm not a fan of scuba diving.
Yes, the ocean is a mysterious place and there's a lot of things down there that we don't know about, which makes it interesting, but also can make it a little bit terrifying. So let's find out about deep sea exploration into the freezing depths. It's almost as exciting and basically as dangerous as going into space, but it's right here on the planet Earth. Let's check it out. Though oceans cover roughly 71% of the Earth's surface, there's still a lot we don't know about them. Only about 20% of the seafloor has been mapped, and the remaining 80% is still a mystery to us. Some experts even estimate that 91% of marine creatures have yet to be discovered. In an effort to fill these huge gaps in our knowledge, the United Nations has declared 2021 to 2030 the Decade of Ocean Science.
All right, everybody, we are going to be looking at the deep sea because our article is all about deep sea exploration into the freezing depths. And so we had this word freezing, which is the adjective of the verb to freeze, which means to turn from a liquid into a solid because it got so cold. So for example, water freezes into ice. And if you say or describe something as freezing, you're saying that it is super, super, super cold. And so we have our example sentence that says, the weather gets freezing at night, so don't forget your coat. So if you're going outside, especially in the winter time, you might want your coat because it's cold. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at our article. It says, though oceans cover roughly 71% of the Earth's surface, there's still a lot we don't know about them. And that is something that's very interesting to me because we've been on this Earth for quite a long time. But there's still a lot about the oceans we don't know.
Absolutely. We know a lot about the surface of the ocean because, of course, people travel there, they fish there, but there's a lot of water underneath all that. And yeah, I think they've explored like 8% of the bottom of the ocean, a very, very small amount. So there you go. When we talk about percent, we're talking about a value out of 100. So this is really useful when we want to understand how much of something something there is compared to all of the other things. It doesn't have to be 100. We just bring it down to 100 because looking at a 1 out of 100 or 50 out of 100, that would be half. It just makes it easier to understand, all right? So if you see that little circle with a line and another little circle, that percent sign, that's what you know we're talking about. So for example, it is a fact that around 60% of the human body is water. You might not think it, but when you take the blood and you take all the other things in your body and also the liquid that's in your muscles and everything else, maybe not your bones, but most other things have water in them, it breaks down to about 60% of your body is made of water. So there you go. Only, it says, about 20% of the seafloor has been mapped. A little bit more than I thought, so that's nice to know, but still, only 20%. And the remaining 80% is still a mystery to us. So when they've mapped it, that doesn't always mean that a person has gone down there in a special machine, in a submarine. It could be probably using radar and things like that to basically get an idea of the hills and valleys and mountains that are down there on the ocean floor, but still a lot of it is basically unknown. Some experts even estimate that 91% of marine creatures have yet to be discovered. So these are probably not giant sea monsters, although they could be. It's probably little things that live down on the bottom of the ocean, but it really is just showing how little we know, how little we have explored, how little we understand about what goes on there miles and kilometers beneath the surface of the ocean.
Yes, so the deep, deep ocean is still a mystery.
It is.
Mostly it's a mystery to us. And mystery, this word means that it's kind of like a puzzle or something that you're trying to figure out, but you don't know what it is. You don't know what happened. You don't know, for example, maybe you came home and your TV is missing and it's a mystery. Where did this go? I don't know. You could look for some clues. You could try to figure it out. But as of now, it's a mystery. And we have our example sentence that says, we couldn't solve the mystery of who ate the last cookie. So somebody ate the last cookie. You're trying to follow the crumbs and see who did it, but you couldn't figure out who did it. And so in this case, when we're talking about the deep oceans being a mystery, it's something that we maybe in the future can solve or can figure out or can know more about. But as of now, it's kind of just like we have to imagine what could be down there, what other things are we missing that we haven't seen yet. And if we continue reading, it says, in an effort to fill these huge gaps in our knowledge, so again, there's so much of the ocean that we don't know, and we gotta try to fill in these holes of knowledge so we can learn more about it. It says the United Nations has declared 2021 to 2030 the decade of ocean science. So now we're going to use this time to really figure it out.
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to encourage more people, more governments, more universities, and people who want to study this to go out and do it. This is something that the United Nations has declared. When you declare something, you basically publicly announce it. All right, it's something the government might do. We're declaring a holiday next year on a special new day. We're declaring there will be new laws or new taxes or things. At school, your principal or teachers might declare that certain things will happen tomorrow. All right, everyone, we're having a quiz tomorrow. I'm the teacher. I've decided, and I'm telling you all this is an official thing. You should probably pay attention to it. It's probably something kind of important and things like that. For example, the teacher declared Friday a free study day for the class.
Oh.
No normal classes. We can just come in and study what we want. So there you go. Something that is definitely going to affect the students and their lives. Let's take a break and then we'll be back with more mysteries from the ocean depths.
Hello， 大家好，我是 Hanny。今天的课文标题是 Deep Sea Exploration into the Freezing Depths。好，我们先补充一下 ，Deep Sea 就是形容深海的。那么 Exploration 这个名词表示探测、探勘。Freezing 这个单字则是形容极冷的或者是冰天冻地的。好，那我们看到课文，它就提到说，海洋占了地表约71%。但是我们对海洋还有很多的未知，大约只有20%的海底地图被绘制出来， 其余的80%对我们来说仍然是个谜。那有些专家甚至还估计说有91%的海洋生物还没有被发现诶。那么为了填补这样的知识大缺口，联合国宣布2021年到2030年为海洋科学10年。我们先来看看单字 percent。它是名词，表示%多少多少。我们在字尾加上 age 变成 percentage， 那就可以表达比例、百分比、百分率。再看到 mystery， 它表示谜或是神秘的事物。单字例句提到谁吃了最后一块饼干的这个谜团，那么 Sam 老师开玩笑说就是要沿着饼干屑来循线解谜。老师这时候用到 crumb， C-R-U-M-B， crumb 可以指碎屑、面包屑或是糕饼屑。好，下一个单字 declare， 它是动词，表示宣告、宣布。好，这边2个重点，我们进入文法时间。好，我们来看第一个重点是 have yet to 加原形动词，是表达尚未、还没有怎么样怎么样，相当于 have not yet 加上过去分词 PP。好，那么 yet 在这边是当副词，表示尚未、还没。例如 they have yet to make their decision， 也可以说 they have not yet made their decision， 他们还没做出决定。那第二重点是 in an effort to 加原形动词，是表达为了要怎么样怎么样。那么名词 effort 在这边是指努力或者是认真尝试。例如 Henry works out every day in an effort to stay in shape。 Henry 为了要维持健康，每天运动锻炼身体。好，接话课文中。
So why do we know so little about the deep sea? Well, getting to those depths is very difficult and requires advanced technology that simply didn't exist for most of human history. The first navigable submarine, for instance, was built in 1620, and it couldn't go more than 5 meters below the surface. In fact, for a long time, many scientists didn't even think that life could survive at depths greater than 550 meters, and thus didn't see much need to explore the deep sea. However, this changed in 1862, when a dredging operation revealed life as far down as 945 meters below sea level. A decade later, the HMS Challenger discovered around 4,700 previously unknown species from the ocean floor. All right, let's get back to our article and back to a question, a good question. So, the article asks, so why do we know so little about the deep sea? It's a good question.
Yeah,
We've been to the moon, right, several times. We're going to go to Mars apparently soon. But we have all this water and everything underneath it right here on this planet. We're like, yeah, who cares? Let's go to the moon. Let's go to Mars. What about the oceans? Why don't we go down there more and know more? Well, there's actually some good reasons. Well, getting to those depths is very difficult. It's almost as hard as getting to the moon, and requires advanced technology that simply didn't exist for most of human history. Also kind of like going to the moon. I mean, it's not a place you can live.
Yeah.
You got to bring your own light, your own air. You got to protect yourself. The human body cannot survive down there, just like we can't survive in space. And it's expensive.
Yes.
It's probably really, really expensive because you need a lot of advanced science and technology.
Yes, and we have this word advanced. So if something is advanced, it is ahead of whatever else you might be talking about. So if you're talking about like advanced technology, that is technology that is very cutting edge, it's the newest stuff, it's the latest things everybody's been working on, is super great. It's not like your old phone, you know, it's way more advanced than that. So we talk about, when we use this word to describe different things, we mean that whatever you are talking about is now in a much higher class or much further class than other things that you might compare it to. So in our example sentence, it does a good job of this. It says, Donna was really good at math, so she was moved to the advanced class. So this math class was too easy, so they moved her to the advanced, the higher level, the better one, the tougher one, all those types of words to describe the higher level math class. And in this case, we were talking about technology, which again, we just didn't have for so much of human history. That's part of why so much is still unexplored. And so it says the first navigable submarine, for instance, was built in 1620. And it couldn't go more than 5 meters below the surface. So first of all, we've already had a whole bunch of human history. And then 1620, we finally get a submarine, but it can only go down 5 meters. Well, obviously the ocean has many more deep areas than just 5 meters.
You could swim down 5 meters.
Yes,
right?
and I think there are people who do
sure,
that, right?
That's not a big problem.
Yes, and so it says, in fact, for a long time, many scientists didn't even think that life could survive at depths greater than 550 meters, and thus didn't see much need to explore the deep sea.
Wow.
Which makes sense. If you think there's nothing down there, then they're kind of like, why waste the money to do it?
That's a good point, and it's dangerous to get down there, and they kind of just thought that it was just mud and, seaweed or whatever down there. Nothing can live below 550 meters, half a kilometer. However, this changed in 1862 when a dredging operation revealed life as far down as 945 meters below sea level. So now we're almost at a kilometer. This was a dredging operation. What is an operation? Well, a lot of people might think when you go to a hospital and a doctor cuts you open and does stuff inside you to make you healthy and well again. That is an operation, but we can use it more generally to talk about kind of a big project. It's something a lot of people are working on. It will probably have a big goal, and it will take some time. Some operations, if it's for construction or a scientific research, can take many years, but they will have a goal, and you'll have a lot of people working as a team to try to reach that goal. Building Taipei 101 was a huge operation, an operation that took, 7, 8 years, something like that. So yeah, it's a big, big job that a lot of people work together on.
Yes, and so if we continue reading, it says a decade later, so this is a decade after they figured out, wow, they are able to see life down at 900 some meters, right? And it says a decade later, the HMS Challenger discovered around 4,700 previously unknown species from the ocean floor.
Wow, that sounds like it was just a scientific operation going to find deep sea creatures. So there you go. The HMS Challenger, that would be a British ship, right? HMS always tells you that the ship is from Britain. So that was what they were doing back then, but really that wasn't very long ago, 150 years ago or so. All right, so there you go. Very little that we know, but we know a bit more than we did earlier about life in the deep ocean, but still, as we've learned, there is so much more to discover and explore. Come back tomorrow, guys. We'll have more cool stuff from way down below. We'll see you then.
为什么我们对深海的了解这么少呢？原因是要到这些深度是非常困难的，而且需要先进的技术。Advanced 就是用来形容先进的、高级的或是高等的。那么 Sam 老师他有用到 cutting edge 这个形容词 ，cutting 跟 edge 之间有连字号，那是形容尖端的、最先进的。那么课文接着提到说，第一艘可以操控方向的潜水艇建于1620年，那它下潜的深度呢无法超过5公尺，而事实上有很长一段时间，许多科学家甚至认为生命无法在比550公尺还要深的地方生存，当然也就不认为有探索深海的必要性了。不过呢，这在1862年发生了变化，当时一次疏浚作业显示，在深达海平面以下945公尺处有生命存在。那么10年后呢，英国皇家海军挑战者号就在海底发现了大约4700种以前未知的物种。文中他用的 dredging operation 来表达疏浚作业。Dredge 这个动词，它就可以表达为什么来清淤、疏浚或者是打捞的意思。那么 operation 则表示行动、活动，它也有运作工作或者是手术的意思。好，这边一个重点，我们进入文法时间。 这边我们来学习 as 形容词 as 或是 as 副词 as 点点点，这是表达和点点点一样。那这是形容词或副词原级比较的句型。第二个 as 后面可以接子句，那当子句的动词跟前面相同的话，我们就可以省略，或者是用助动词代替。例如 Josh is as tall as his brother is. Josh 和他的哥哥一样高，那最后的 is 可以省略哦。I don't drink coffee as often as Tim does. 我不像 Tim 一样常喝咖啡，所以我们后面用了助动词 does 来取代重复的动词，那 does 也可以省略。好，那以上这些讲解，同学别走开，马上回来哦。
Though oceans cover roughly 71% of the Earth's surface, there's still a lot we don't know about them. Only about 20% of the seafloor has been mapped, and the remaining 80% is still a mystery to us. Some experts even estimate that 91% of marine creatures have yet to be discovered. In an effort to fill these huge gaps in our knowledge, the United Nations has declared 2021 to 2030 the decade of ocean science. So why do we know so little about the deep sea? Well, getting to those depths is very difficult and requires advanced technology that simply didn't exist for most of human history. The first navigable submarine, for instance, was built in 1620, and it couldn't go more than 5 meters below the surface. In fact, for a long time, many scientists didn't even think that life could survive at depths greater than 550 meters, and thus didn't see much need to explore the deep sea. However, this changed in 1862, when a dredging operation revealed life as far down as 945 meters below sea level. A decade later, the HMS Challenger discovered around 4,700 previously unknown species from the ocean floor.
Hey, check out my back and arms. How do they look?
Okay, enough. We get it. You are very strong. Stop flexing your muscles.
Well, I'm not only flexing my muscles, I'm also flexing my stretching skills and flexibility.
So Matt, you mentioned flexing your stretching skills. What's that all about?
It's a modern slang usage. Flexing has evolved beyond muscles to showcase skills, achievements, or possessions.
Ah, got it. So it's not just about pumping iron at the gym.
Exactly. You can flex your talents, accomplishments, or anything you're proud of.
So it's like showing off, but in a positive way?
Spot on. It's about expressing confidence and success in a particular area.
Can you give me an example?
Sure. If someone says, I'm flexing my coding skills on this project, they mean they're showcasing their programming prowess.
Oh, I see. So it's not limited to physical activities.
Not at all. You can flex your creativity, your fashion sense, or even your vast knowledge of English idioms.
Nice. I'll start flexing my language skills more often.
That's the spirit. But don't forget, flex responsibly, my friend.
That's all for today. Keep flexing those language muscles, folks.
See you guys next time.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.